our little experiment, and we've enjoyed it, so let's continue. Our little experiment here is obviously the draft's coming up on the 27th, and we've talked about the quarterbacks going 1 through 4. So what we wanted to do is go back, 8 to 10 drafts and come up with our hit rate. Essentially, our experiment, understand the hit rate, the effectiveness of drafting certain positions in the first round. So what we found so far is we went back 29 selections, 10 drafts for quarterbacks. 9 were busts, 9 were basic, 9 were a success. So you had a 31% hit rate on quarterbacks. We did wide receivers yesterday. Much more success or more success. 43.8 success, okay? And that was of 39 wide receivers in the first round over the last 8 drafts. Now, the wide receivers, Amal, as we discussed yesterday, had much more success in 20, 21, and 22. You've got Hall of Famers all over the place. If they stay healthy, these kids playing now, Hall of Famers. The wide receivers have been amazing, and you had a theory as to why.
Yeah, a lot of the guys develop a lot easier at the wide receiver position because so many kids at the youth level in junior high and high school are playing 7-on-7 in competition, and you see the players really get into the collegiate level and be able to have an impact. I'm going to throw a quick name out there for you to pay attention to this year, freshman at USC, Zachariah Branch. He's from here in Vegas, Bishop Gorman, top receiver in the country. I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to watch Caleb Williams. Listen, I could talk college football right now for 3 hours. That's why I brought it up, but I'll let you get back to the draft.
Okay, I'll say this as we get into running backs. I have 36 running backs from 18 drafts, okay? No running backs were taken last year in 2022. No running backs were taken in 13 and 14.
Wow.
I'm going to be very clear. I think drafting a running back in the first round is a disaster.
Oh.
I think Saquon Barkley, 2 overall, was the worst pick I've seen, and I don't care what he did last year. Saquon Barkley has been disastrous for the Giants. Frankly, and again, I'll give you Damian Williams, I'll give you LeGarrette Blount, I'll give you C.J. Anderson, I'll give you all these players you can go to or win a Super Bowl with at the running back position. It's literally interchangeable unless you're talking about a guy that can block and catch, okay? That's a little bit different. That's more of a hybrid. If you're talking about a McCaffrey, that type of player, I'm talking about a running back. Saquon Barkley was a horrific pick. There's no way to sugarcoat it moving forward. With that being said, and I know your theory. Your theory is, and you're crossing your arms, so your body language tells me you're pissed. Your theory is you draft running backs in the first round.
I'm taking a guy that's a franchise changer. So let me ask you a quick question. Was Zeke Elliott at number 4 worth it for you?
No, you can continue. You can give me examples, and I can always counter with an example. I can give you Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw and James White and continue. I can give you Damian Williams for the Kansas City Chiefs against the 49ers. I can give you guy on guy on guy that was a star in the biggest game in the sport that wasn't a high draft pick.
I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is I think Saquon's not had Saquon has not had the quarterback support, the lack of offensive line support. Their receivers couldn't catch a cold for a number of years.
Saquon's been hurt his whole entire career. That has nothing to do with has everything to do with him.
The injury part, you're correct.
Todd Gurley was hurt his whole entire career. He was hurt coming out of college. He was overdrafted. We can go on and on with the injuries.
He had a knee issue. That's fine. But let's just get to this. I can't even believe you said this, dude. You just put me in a mood. I mean, I disagree with you.
We like you in the mood. We like you in a mood. Let's go here. Last year, no running backs selected. Bust basic success, Amal Shah. In 2021, Najee Harris was drafted in the first round.
Success.
Amal?
Success.
Success? Okay. Dustin, what do you think?
Yeah, success.
Okay, I was going to say basic, but I'll give you guys both that one for Harris. I had last year, Breece Hall was selected in the second round. He's better than Najee Harris. Proves my point.
Where do you come up with this?
So moving forward, regardless if injuries weren't involved here, you'd prefer Najee Harris over Breece Hall.
Dude, Najee's an absolute beast. I can't figure out right now. Hold on a second. I can't figure out honestly right now if you're trolling me or if you're being sincere.
No. I'm not trolling you. Dustin, jump in here. We've done a show together for almost a decade. I don't care about running backs. I think they're ridiculously irrelevant.
No, I think most NFL teams actually feel that way as well, as we're going to learn in this exercise.
I think they're interchangeable. They're whatever, literally.
I mean, look at who wins the Super Bowls. No one's winning Super Bowls with elite running backs.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, first rounder.
Busto.
So again, we can continue. Let's continue. Success with Najee Harris. Travis Etienne.
I'm going to say basic because of the injury the first year, and then last year he played pretty well.
I would say
Dustin?
success. I thought he was pretty good last year.
I'm actually going to say success on him because I think he's going to be super explosive, and I think he showed that when he played. It's so early with the 21 guys.
Yeah,
okay?
that's why
so
I was almost going to go incomplete with him because remember he missed the first year with
That's
an
fair.
injury.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a bust.
Bust, yes.
Josh Jacobs.
Only one answer here.
Here's what's interesting about Jacobs. Jacobs proves my point. When you draft a guy so high and then you have to prove his worth and prove paying a first rounder like a running back, you have to have the usage go way up. And I think that hamstrings your offense. It's a philosophical thing, Amal Shah. But obviously, Josh Jacobs has been a success.
I agree.
Everybody?
Yep.
Big guy? I can't hear you.
Oh, I said yep.
Oh, sorry. Saquon Barkley.
Success.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just like Jacobs, just because they're a success doesn't mean like it's winning football.
Yeah, I totally agree. Rashad Penny.
Bust.
If you look when he's healthy, he is one of the most productive running backs in the league.
Okay, we'll go basic.
He just
No
has
problem.
health issues.
We got a lot to go. We'll go basic. Sony Michel.
Basic.
Basic.
He was as prototypical basic as it gets.
Leonard Fournette.
I thought he was overrated coming out of LSU. I still stand by that, but I'm going to put him at basic, which is like a success for me on Leonard Fournette.
I 100% agree on that.
Well, also because he's one of the great kids coming out of high school in the history of the sport. And so he's floundered as far as what his expectations were. Remember, when he was coming out of high school, people were going freaking nuts.
They told him to skip like 2 years at college.
McCaffrey's an obvious success.
Yes, absolutely.
Zeke Elliott is a success.
Correct.
Yep.
But therein lies, I don't want to get into it.
No, you're fair point. But remember, 2-time rushing champion. This guy has done well in Dallas if you look at it over his career.
I think if Dallas hadn't had Zeke the whole entire time, they would have had more success. That's all. That's again, I know that I'm crazy to you and I'm crazy to others. That's just my opinion.
I know you're Quentin Johnson's agent. Are you also Dak Prescott's agent? Because Dak Prescott is horrific.
So, again, you're a big running back in the first round guy. Not a surprise. Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. That's 15. Those two.
Gordon basic. I'm going to go Gurley
Gurley's
basic.
a total bust.
No, I thought the
He had a
injuries.
few good years.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, fine. Gurley basic. Gordon what?
Basic.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go with both. I can go with both of those.
And we both thought those two were going to be studs, although the Gurley injury coming out of college was very concerning.
Real quickly, Gurley 1,100, 885, 1305, 1251 in his first 4 years.
And then injuries.
On some
because
bad
that's what happens to a depreciating position like a running back or essentially a car. You drive it off the lot and you're getting the worst of it.
But Michael Lombardi had said the Patriots medical said he will not get to a second contract. So it was bad medical evaluation on the Rams that when they drafted him. That to me is a mistake on the medical staff. That's one where an injury's there. You can't take a chance on a guy in the first round.
You do realize the Rams paid him early. They extended him early.
That's okay. Stan Kroenke's got more money than God.
Okay. Yeah, that was 2015. Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon. In 14 and 13, no running backs taken in the first round.
Smart GMs.
Interesting. Who said that?
Well, it wasn't going to be me, so take a wild guess by deductive reasoning there.
In 2012, 2-yard Trent Richardson.
Woof.
Hey, Patrick, you didn't strike me as being an optimist in this one. You're really giving Trent credit for 2 yards per carry?
2-yard Trent Richardson.
No shot he
That's
was
a
getting
bust.
2 yards a carry.
Doug Martin.
Basic?
Boise State.
Nah.
Remember him?
Barely. How about David Wilson? Who the hell is this guy?
Injured.
I don't care. Did
Those
Patrick crush
Those are
Barkley?
Those are two busts. We would all agree with that.
I would
We're
go
going to
3.
continue with the running backs coming up next here at Sharp Money. We got a bunch of guests the rest of the show, so we're having a little fun with our experiment. Effectiveness of drafting certain positions. We're looking at hit rate. We're going running backs today. Polar opposite positions as far as what we think of and how we value the running back position. I very much believe they're whatever. I can give you Pacheco over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I can give you Damian Williams over whoever Kansas City had, and everybody went over that prop bet in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. I can give you LeGarrette Blount being essentially the best running back on 2 different teams in consecutive years in the Super Bowl. I can go on and on.
I can also tell you New England shouldn't draft a quarterback until the 6th round either.
Because of one example?
I'm just saying, you're playing devil's advocate.
I'm always like, Amal, what are you talking? You were about to give me Tom Brady, and that's the one example. You got to give me more than one. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Take a seat. Let's continue. We went Trent Richardson. We went Doug Martin. We went David Wilson. I agree with Amal in the
First of all,
segment.
you just mentioned Trent Richardson 3 times more than he should have been mentioned in the last 5 years.
How about the Colts trading a first-rounder for that guy?
That was the biggest scam of all time that the Browns got that out of them.
2011 Mark Ingram.
Busto.
Ooh, I think
basic?
He's basic.
Oh, no, basic.
Okay,
for sure,
fine,
basic. I think he's had a more useful career than we realize.
No, I think he's been solid.
It started bad.
I just thought, when you look at all the Alabama running backs, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Trent Richardson, he was the worst of the bunch, and he won a Heisman Trophy. I just didn't have high expectations for him coming out.
So we all agree basic.
Yep.
Next up, 2010, C.J. Spiller.
Basic.
Yeah, he was basic. He was useful for a while.
Agreed. Stud at Clemson. Was this Ryan Matthews out of Fresno State?
Yes, sir.
Was that the kid?
He had a pretty nice run for a little bit, didn't he?
What, like 2 games?
I think he had a couple years where he was good. He's basic overall.
No, he's a bust.
I was going to go
first rounder.
Basic?
Well, no, he said bust.
Bust?
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
total
go
bust.
I'd go bottom of the basic, but I would go more bust.
He's a first rounder, guys. We got to do better than having a couple of good years. Javid Best,
Busto.
bust, but it was unfortunate.
Why?
Because
Because
his concussions caused him, and he played for the Lions, yes. But also the concussions caused him to retire. In 2009, you can see the list too if you're more visually inclined. It's a good job with the graphics there. No Sean Moreno, shot to Georgia.
Basic.
Dustin, jump in here and just give me your
The
thing
fact
as
that
we
he
say it.
wasn't a superstar still blows my mind.
The Colts drafted a running back out of UConn, Donald Brown.
Yeah.
Remember, because he ran so fast. And I don't know. Go ahead, Amal.
Basic to bust. He had a couple of decent seasons.
I'd say bust if he just...
I didn't have expectations for a guy from Stores.
And he was always splitting time anyway.
First rounder. He's a bust.
Yeah, it was weird because he was drafted to be share the workload.
Beanie Wells.
Bust.
No comment. He was
2008.
He was horrific.
2008's very interesting.
Wow.
Darren McFadden, DMC.
Success.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, success,
No,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart, success.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really long career.
Jonathan Stewart had a very good career. Felix Jones.
Basic.
Basic.
Rashard Mendenhall.
I'm going somewhere between basic to success.
I think basic.
My vibe was basic, but he was good. He was fine. Hold on, I killed that bug. Sorry. Chris
Pete
Johnson
is coming after us.
Chris Johnson rushed for 2K, but injuries cut it short.
Well, Chris Johnson...
Actually, not even injuries. He just fell off the cliff. That's what happens with running backs.
But Chris Johnson's responsible for one of the greatest calls in the history of the NFL by Gus Johnson. He's on a play, he's running away, and Gus Johnson goes, he's got that getting away from the cops speed.
Oh, God.
It was such a great line.
Bust, basic, success, Johnson.
Success. 2,000 yards?
No,
it's so tough because you're literally judging, like, at best, a 5-year window.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson in 2007, I think it's safe to say he was very much a success. Marshawn Lynch in 2007 was a success.
Yeah.
First-round running backs, again, here on Sharp Money, our experiment. Understand the hit rate, effectiveness of drafting certain skilled positions and just positions overall. In 2006, Reggie Bush.
Basic.
Very much. I mean, that's based on expectations, too. We had such high expectations, but in the end, I think you have to say basic.
Yeah, he was more of a pass catcher anyway. He wasn't even that good of an
he was
actual running
drafted
back.
second. You traded away your entire draft to get him.
Oddly enough, rushed for 1,000 yards.
Williams. Sorry,
Oddly enough, rushed for 1,000 yards with the Lions, Reggie Bush.
Wow.
Lawrence Maroney.
I'm going to say bust. I was really high on him coming out of Minnesota.
Everyone was. I agree with them all.
D'Angelo Williams. Success.
Success, yeah.
Joseph Adai.
Basic. Are you going to go success?
He's basic. The pick was a
I was
success.
going to say basic.
Yeah, he's basic. The pick was a success.
Okay, and then we finish up with the year 2005. Ronnie Brown.
Basic.
I was going to say success. He was
He had a couple
good
good years in Miami. He did. I know. I was trying to decide between success and basic.
So I guess I'm the decider here. We'll go success.
Okay.
Cedric Benson.
I'm going to say success.
R.I.P. I was going to say bust. I thought he stunk.
I was going to say basic.
Let's go
Wow.
back. We'll take
This is the first time this has happened.
Well, hold on a second. I got to go back and look at his numbers. You know what? Maybe I'm remembering at Texas because at Texas he had 4 1,000-yard seasons.
He had a good year late in his career with the Bengals, but I thought he stunk. I thought he was a bust. I'm wrong. He had a 1,211.
I
and
said
1,000.
I was going to say basic. Are we going basic?
Basic, yes.
works.
Basic, yeah.
And then finally Cadillac Williams.
I'm going bust. I thought
Yeah.
Cadillac was going to be an absolute superstar.
Yeah, no, he was a bust.
Started out hot, but did nothing.
Okay, boys. And again, if you look at the graph, completely equal. It's fascinating how this works out. So let's go. Bust star, and Dustin, you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's what I got.
Basic R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That's what I have.
And success, running backs, drafts, 18 of them, 36 running backs. How many success? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this experiment has been fascinating.
It's
It's
wild.
been pretty much equal across the board for every position. So your hit rate in 18 drafts and 36 running backs, I'm talking success, is 36%.
It's higher than I thought it would be.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.